Hello, sports fans. Welcome to Spruce Sports Central. Today, we're going to be going over my Week 10 UFL predictions. So last week, I had a record of 2-2, and that brings my record on season to 27-9. And before we get into my predictions for this week, sorry I haven't posted in over a week. I've been having trouble with my mic, but I think that's fixed. But sorry for not posting this past week. But beating my predictions this week with the games on Saturday, and starting off with the Stallions hosting the Panthers. So there's a chance the Panthers can still win the USFL conference, but even if they do, it wouldn't mean anything. Because due to a scheduling conflict at Ford Field, the USFL conference championship game has already been confirmed to be in Birmingham, even if the Panthers are the top seed. And while there is a chance the Panthers can win the conference, it is very slim, as they would need to beat the Stallions by at least 23 points. Now, the Stallions, they're looking to get back in the win column after they lost for the first time this season last week to the Brahmas, and their offense was terrible, scoring just 9 points. They'll be looking for a bounce-back performance, and despite a terrible game last week, the Stallions' offense has been very good this season, scoring 27.2 points a game, which is second best in the league. Although they'll have another tough challenge as they face a good Panthers defense, which is third best in scoring defense, allowing just 18.8 points per game. And they also held the Stallions to 20 the first time these two teams played. The Panthers will be starting Danny Etling at quarterback in his return from injury after missing a few weeks. But quarterback Bryce Perkins will be their backup, and Perkins has seen playing time in each of the past 3 games, and has played well in all those games, so I would expect to see Perkins once again this week. The Panthers offense scores 23.2 points per game, but they match up against a good Stallion defense that allows just 17.9 points a game. But this is a tough game to predict because these teams will see each other next week in the playoffs, so neither team really has a ton to play for. They don't want to give away too many secrets in this game. That doesn't really mean much. It's also going to be interesting to see how long each team plays their starters. But I'm going to take the Stallions to get the win. I think they're going to come out to a strong start to shake off last week's loss. They'll get off to a great start that'll lead them to the win. They win by a score of 26-20. Next game, we have the Brahmas visiting the Battlehawks. So this is another interesting game because the teams will play again next week in the XFL Conference Championship game. But at least in this game, the teams have something to play for. Because the winner of this game will host the XFL Conference Championship game next week. So it'll be interesting to see how each team plays wanting home field advantage next week, needing to win this week, but they really need to get the win next week. Now, both teams have their starting quarterbacks back healthy for this week. Battlehawks quarterback A.J. McCarron is returning from his ankle injury, which cost him 2 games. And for the Brahmas, they will have quarterback Chase Garbers back as the starter, and it will be his first start since week 3, where they also played the Battlehawks. Now, the Battlehawks offense is scoring 27.4 points a game, which leads the league, but they now face the best scoring defense in the league in the Brahmas defense that allows just 15.6 points a game, and just held the Stallions to 9 last week. On the opposite side of things, the Brahmas are scoring 20 points a game and face a Battlehawks defense that allows 21.1 points a game. So this is an interesting game, but to me this game comes down to how well the Brahmas defense can stop the Battlehawks offense. Because I think the Brahmas will be able to score enough if their defense plays well enough. But this is a game that could go either way. The Battlehawks offense has been good without McCarron. I think McCarron is going to give them a boost and make their offense even better. Battlehawks win in a close one and get home field advantage next week winning by a score of 24-20. And interesting for the Brahmas, they can actually end up playing 3 straight games in St. Louis. Because this game's in St. Louis. If the Battlehawks win this week, next week's game is in St. Louis. And then we already know the championship game is in St. Louis. So the Brahmas could actually end up playing 3 straight in St. Louis, but obviously we'll have to wait and see. And moving to the games on Sunday, beginning with the Renegades at the Defenders. So this is another really interesting game. The Renegades have been playing better as the season progressed. They've won 2 of their last 3. And they face a Defenders team that actually barely beat the Renegades the first time they played this season. And a big reason why the Renegades are playing better is their offense. They're scoring 23.9 points a game, which is 3rd in the league. And they now face a Defenders defense that is really struggling, as on the season they've allowed 24.3 points a game. But on the opposite side of things, the Renegades defense also isn't great, allowing 24.2 points a game. And the Defenders score 19.8 points a game. So, while both defenses are not good, allowing over 24 points a game, I'm expecting this game to turn into a shootout, and it should be a pretty entertaining game, similar to the first time these two teams met when the final score was 29-28. But this is a matchup that could go either way. The Defenders are home and have lost just one home game since the start of the XFL in 2020. But I'm going to take the upset here. Give me the Renegades to get the win. I think they're going to get the upset win in a shootout by a score of 33-27. I trust their offense more than the Defenders, and I think this game will turn into a shootout. So Renegades pick up their third win of the season and end on a really good note, winning 3 of their last 4. And our final game of the UFL regular season, we have the Toilet Bowl, the Roughnecks at the Showboats. So these two teams have been the worst teams in the league, but the UFL actually did something really interesting earlier this week, as they announced the winner of this game would get the number 1 overall pick in the UFL draft instead of the loser. And that is exactly what they did in the USFL back in 2022 with the Maulers and Panthers. But I really like what they do there. It makes this game a lot more interesting and gives each team an incentive to win rather than to lose. But the Roughnecks, they've been playing better offensively in their past 2 games, scoring 28 points and 22 points in their past 2 games. And a big reason why has been quarterback Nolan Henderson has seen a lot more playing time. Now, the Roughnecks have listed Reed Sinnott as their starter this week, but they did the same thing last week, even though Nolan and Henderson ended up starting the game at the quarterback position. But even if Reed Sinnott starts, I'm expecting to see a lot of Nolan Henderson in this week's game. Now, the Roughnecks offense is worse in the league, scoring 16.2 points a game, but they face the league's worst scoring defense, as the Showboats allow 30.9 points a game. Now, on the other side of things, it is the same thing. A bad offense against not great defense. The Showboats won this matchup back in Week 1, which remains their only win of the season. They're no home for this game, but I'm going to take the Renegades to get the win for a couple of reasons. I like how they've been playing lately with Nolan Henderson at quarterback, and I think we'll have a big day against a bad defense. And the other reason is the Showboats, they seem to have gotten worse as the season progresses, rather than a lot of teams showing improvement. So I'm going to take the Roughnecks winning this game by a score of 21-12 and getting the first pick in the UFL draft as well. But those are my Week 10 UFL predictions. Again, no live streams for any games this week, but I'll be streaming both playoff games as well as the championship game. So be sure to subscribe, turn notifications so you don't miss that. But thank you for watching. Make sure to like this video, subscribe, turn notifications so I do my best to post as often as possible. Check out the community tab of my channel where you guys can vote on who you think will win this week's games. But thank you for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, turn notifications. I do my best to post as often as possible. I will see you in the next video.